third live stream because there's so much breaking news. This time, we're going to give you information that Iran had threatened just last week to unleash sleeper cells if they were attacked. I've talked extensively about these sleeper cells on this channel. I interviewed a Joint Terrorism Task Force agent who told us he believes that there are 30,000 Iranian-backed sleeper cells, or at least, people in cells within the United States. We've done that here on this channel here. And this information just broke about an hour ago from NBC News. NBC News specifically is reporting that during the G7 summit, Iran delivered a direct warning to President Trump through an intermediary that if the U.S. struck its nuclear facilities, Iran would retaliate with terrorist attacks inside the United States. Again, that is being reported by NBC News just an hour ago. Now, today, this is June 22nd, Sunday, in response, the Department of Homeland Security issued a national terrorism advisory warning that cyber attacks are likely and physical violence inside the United States is possible. Now, the advisory emphasized that if Iranian clerics issued a fatwa or religious ruling calling for retaliation, it could mobilize extremists or sleeper cells inside the United States. Now, DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, noted increased risk of anti-Semitic violence, referencing the past Homeland terror attacks motivated by anti-Israel sentiment, especially among ongoing Israel-Iran conflict. We have hacktivist threats. Experts are warning that Iranian cyber actors may already be embedded inside the United States critical infrastructure systems, including electric grids, water treatment plants, and hospitals. And these systems are soft targets compared to our military assets. Now, as a reminder, U.S. law enforcement has disrupted multiple Iranian-backed plots since 2020. These networks may now activate in response to recent bombings. Now, police departments in New York City, LA, and Michigan have ramped up security patrols around religious and cultural sites, especially around synagogues and government-linked targets. Now, look, I've been warning you guys for at least 2 years, and I've been getting a lot of flack from people in the church security industry saying that I'm crying wolf. And then today, after last night, I went live and said, be ready because things are getting bad. Sure enough, we had a church get attacked, and a security team in Michigan stopped them and did a wonderful job. I talked about that earlier today. I'm not trying to create panic. I'm trying to tell you the truth. The Bible has told us that these times are coming, and here we are, and they're here. I want to tell you the truth, but what I don't want you to do is to receive this information, which I'll talk about again for the people who are just coming on. I don't want to create panic or fear. I want to tell you the truth, and part of that truth is stuff that's very hard for some people to hear. I don't want you to turn your church into a bunker. A lot of people are saying, do we need to do bag checks? Do we need to be tacked out like me, like wearing body armor, like visible body armor with rifles? No, none of that. I really don't see a time like that coming. In fact, I was at the range today. I didn't do the video, but I was thinking about doing a video of showing how quickly you can respond with your pistol and put something down versus taking the time to put on all your gear, get a rifle, and try to address the threat. It just doesn't work out that way. I know there are churches that are doing bag checks right now. I want you to put yourself in the shoes of somebody that's afraid and they are deciding to come to Christ, and they hear all this horrible news. They realize that now's the time to go to church, learn about Christ, learn about the gospel. But now you're doing bag checks and you got guys standing out front with AR-15s and visible body armor. Are they going to feel comfortable to come in? No. We already have people that want to stay away from church because of what's going on. And that is just horrible. Look, we know that we're going to be persecuted for our belief in the gospel and in the belief of our Lord Jesus Christ. We know that we're going to be persecuted because it's happened in the past. It's happening now. and especially Nigeria. Look, man, it is what it is. You know you're going to be persecuted. God will protect you. God, like, it's someone put it perfectly in the comments this morning that David had had wonderful faith in our Lord, but he still picked up a rock to kill Goliath, right? We know, like, God is equipping us and training us and giving all of this so that we can take care of our church. So for those that are just joining, I just want to repeat some of the news that broke within the last hour. We're going to do these live streams probably pretty regularly. NBC News is reporting just an hour ago that during the G7 summit, Iran delivered a direct warning to President Trump through an intermediary that if the U.S. struck its nuclear facilities, Iran would retaliate with terrorist attacks inside the United States. And just a few hours ago, the Department of Homeland Security issued a national terrorism advisory warning that cyber attacks are likely and violence inside the U.S. is possible. We're already seeing it. Typical Department of Homeland Security. Like, where have you guys been? Look at all the violence that has been happening in our communities over the past few weeks. We have 2 Jewish diplomats from Israel murdered in D.C. ISIS picked that up and said, look, a Christian killed these evil people. Why are you, a Muslim, not doing anything? Do you think that's going to strike a chord with some lone wolf people? It absolutely will. And then we had the guy that decided to firebomb some Jews that were about to go on a march. Then we had the shooting in Wayne, Michigan this morning at a church. I think it was Cross Point Community Church. And again, kudos to the church security team. You guys stopped multiple people from being killed today. And you took a bullet for it. And I thank the Lord that he put you there to protect those people. So the big question is, what are we going to do for our churches? I did a live stream earlier. I'm not going to repeat what I said in the last live stream about what you need to do for your churches. But certainly you are not going to lock your church down doing bag checks, stay out there with an AR-15, but go back and talk about what we're going to do with, entry control and stuff like that. For you personally, here's what I'm afraid is going to happen. So my friends that work Joint Terrorism Task Force have been talking to me all day. I've been getting so many calls from active cops right now. And they want you to know these because they know I have an audience. The video I did this morning is already at 80,000 views. And I think total between all the platforms, we're sitting at around 190,000 people have been watching what we're talking about. And so the officers want me to relay some information to you. They want you to know that what they're being told is to expect an October 7th style attack or Mumbai, India style attack where it's multiple places getting hit at the same time. If that happens, our first responders are going to be overwhelmed and they are not going to be able to respond to all the active shooter incidents. And so the way I look at it, and you can do whatever you want, but the way I look at it is the Lord gave me some wonderful training experience. He gave me 20 years of experience in SWAT and tactical experience. And he gave me some wonderful instructor schools where I went around the country teaching sniper school, SWAT, and some other things. And so I'm rolling around with full kit in my car right now. I have a SBR that is similar to what I had on SWAT. I'm rolling around with plates and a plate carrier, a go bag. I have flashbangs, smoke, and my helmet. And I have comms, but unfortunately I can't talk to law enforcement or anybody else. I can just talk to my local team and stuff. But why am I doing that? Because I do believe that I will be somewhere if something happens. I want to be able, if I know law enforcement is not going to respond, that I can go take care of what needs to be taken care of. And I think our communities are going to rely on our veterans and our former law enforcement and current law enforcement. So you do what you're going to do. But I went to the range today as part of my normal, me and my son went, just as our normal, like just bonding time, father, son. But it was also because we know bad times are coming and we need to make sure our skills stay sharp. And it was simple stuff like the only rifle work I did was I grabbed my SBR and took a 100-yard headshot, which I hit and with no problem. And it let me know that my cold shot was perfect. So I can take a hostage shot. I can, I know that my rifle is squared away and ready to go. And then we worked on pistol work all day. So you have to think about like, what are you going to do as yourself in case this happens? Now, look, this could not happen. Nothing could happen. Iran already asked Hezbollah for help and they refused. And they said, we're not going to help you because Iran didn't come to Hezbollah's help when Israel was pummeling them. So do we think Hezbollah is going to come out and help them? I don't know. But you have 30,000 people plus an unknown number of others that were let in by Joe Biden that they are wondering what the next thing is going to happen. And then you have all of these lone wolf people that are ready to take care of business, like we saw this morning with the attack on the Israeli diplomats and the attack in Boulder, Colorado. The other thing that we have to worry about is we have a bunch of people and a bunch of organizations charged with church security that are minimizing everything that we're talking about here. They're calling me an alarmist. For those of you speaking up saying you're worried and that you need to up your training, up your equipment, and you're being shut down as being an alarmist. We have groups who put out alert level systems or have alert level systems for their member churches that the highest I've seen is medium. I'm sorry, man, this is not a medium threat right now. I put mine at the highest. You can choose to follow it or not follow it. Why is it at the highest? Because it's pretty critical right now. Could something happen? I don't know. But we have a bunch of people saying they're going to do it. And if they say they're going to do it, they're going to do it. And what are you going to do to prepare? Perfect example. I would be in the command post on a SWAT call out, and I would hear people trying to minimize, like the guy says, I'm going to kill my kids. And everybody's like, well, and they're trying to arrange tactics to save the life of the suspect. And I'm in the corner going like, hey, man, hold up. Why are we putting the suspect's life up front? He says he's going to kill his kids. And I would get up and tell my snipers, hey, he's going to say he's going to kill the kids. And I would we called it compromise authority. Compromise authority meant like, hey, like we're in trouble, like figure it out. And the snipers would make a decision to shoot the guy or not, which I know what their decision would be at that point, right? I bring this up because I've lived my life with, if you tell me you're going to punch me, then I'm not going to get punched. And I'm going to figure out how to stop you using the most minimal force and being within the Bible and the law, right? I don't want you to go out and be all paranoid and, just ready to do battle with everybody. Read your Bible. There are some wonderful sections to read about what's going on right now. Ezekiel 38 is a good one to read right now. Read some passages that help calm you a little bit. Put things in perspective. The chances, I told last night I came on and I said that the risk to churches is extreme right now, that I believe we're under imminent threat of an attack. And then 12 hours later, a church gets hit. But how many didn't get hit? Only one church got hit yesterday. And there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of other churches throughout the U.S. that nothing happened. So when I showed up to church today, I was like, something might happen. It might not. It's pretty minimal, but it's not zero. And so I'm just going to be ready. And that's how you should look at it too. Don't be paranoid. Don't be freaked out. Look at what you need to fix it. Think about what training you need to get ready, and then go do it. You can see there's some people on YouTube right now that are saying some slanderous things. Just ignore them or give them a good Bible verse. Just reply back with a good Bible verse that lets them know Jesus loves them, even though they're a slanderer. All right. So good questions in the in the comments right now. I get for civilian flashbangs, they're not that great, but they're better than nothing. IWA is the company. I think you can Google search IWA flashbang. Let me just look real quick. Yeah, it's already coming up. Yeah. IWA International Inc.com. I get, what do I get? I'm not going to tell you everything I get from them, but since I don't have the government paying for all my stuff anymore, I do get flashbangs and smoke from them. I know they're selling Pava grenades, which is better than pepper spray. Great, less lethal option. Good area denial. Like if you don't want anybody to come in this room here, pop one in here. There ain't nobody coming in here unless they have a gas mask on. But they have some really good things. But don't buy that stuff unless you know how to use it. If you do buy it, make sure you train so you know what it's like. The flashbangs are not that great, but it's better than what I had before, which was nothing. So just my 2 cents. All right. I'm just looking. I want some good, honest. We're going to go into questions. Give me some good, honest questions. None of these nasty comments. Just give me good questions that you guys need to know right now to protect your church, and then I'll help you the best that I can. While I wait for all those to come in, this shirt is an Under Armour polo shirt that I had designed, security with the little cross right there. I really like it. You can head over to merch over at christianwarriortraining.com. Go to the merch tab, and then you can pick these up here as well. All right. For whatever reason, I'm not really seeing any questions popping up. Or here's a good one. Victory in Christ. I love your handle over on YouTube. If you see a box or a backpack or a bag laying around or someone leaves it, report it. The other thing too is go ahead and open it up and take a look and see what's in there. Save the cops some time, because I can tell you if you call the cops, first thing I'm going to do is going to walk over and I'm going to look into it and see what it is. Do you think ISIS sleepers will go at it with the Iranian ones here? No, man, they're all joining forces, according to some intel people. Can a veteran with PTSD get a firearm? Look all around me, man. I'm a veteran with PTSD. I'm rated through the VA. Yeah, I have. Yeah. So JJ, I can get, as I have a federal firearms license. I sell guns. I bought guns. You're clear. Don't worry about it. You're good to go, man. Good source for plate carriers. All right. For plate carriers, I like Spiritus. Spiritus is a great company. I dig their plate carriers. They are pretty good. I would go to like a low profile rig. Like a lot of you guys want to put all this stuff onto it. Yeah, don't do that. You're going to want to stay light and fast. You're not going to be, for the GWAT guys, the Global War on Terror. For my GWAT vets, you're going to want to go back to what you had. But remember, you're not going into combat for an 8-hour period. More than likely, 3 mags is going to do it for what you got. I'm worried about the local government prosecuting me if I have to use force with a firearm. This is why I moved. I don't live in communist California anymore. And I moved because I knew that I would. I know that I moved for that reason. Make sure that you have insurance. I use Right to Bear. I recommend Right to Bear. If you go to Right to Bear, please let them know that I sent you. You are going to need it. So for those of you worried about prosecution, just make sure you stay within the law. Make sure you stay within the Bible. The Bible says you should use proportional force, and I have lots of videos on that. Down at the bottom, you can see this little ticker right here. Free church security team training, christianwarriortraining.com. If you head over there, I'll give you free training, including use of force. Just make sure you stay within the Bible, within the law. You'll be good to go. What's good rifle ammo? I use Hornady Tap. It's expensive, but a lot of you guys are going to want to use just cheap ammo. Don't go with cheap ammo. It's great for the range. It's not great for stopping people from murdering your friends. Hornady Tap, Spear Gold Dot, those are all perfect ones. All right, so if a church has a YouTube channel and they're putting stuff out, if you're attacked and something happens, disconnect the live feed, but keep the cameras rolling and the recording going because we're going to need it for evidence. But you got to cut the live stream. The Wayne, Michigan, they had their shooting this morning where church security blasted the man that was trying to assault their church. They kept live streaming and kept it going. Don't do that. They want the carnage to be live streamed. And so if you work in the sound booth, look, everybody has a job. Security team, go stop the attacker and stop the attack. Concealed carriers, just worry about your family and the immediate people around you. In fact, what we tell our concealed carriers is when the shooting starts, take a knee. So that way we know that you're good to go. You're low, out of range of fire. Get your family on the ground. Concealed carriers are on their knee. When we come in, we can see, yep, I'm security. You're a concealed carrier. I can leave you alone. And you just worry about your immediate area. The problem is if you now pull your gun out and you start running through the sanctuary to go shoot that guy, you're going to look like an active shooter. And every time we do active shooter incidents and we put concealed carriers in the mix, concealed carrier shoots security, security shoots concealed carrier every single time. Should our cities make their own militias? I live in a state where having a militia is a mandate. It's written into the Constitution of our state. I would stay away. Somebody's asking, I'm in North Idaho. I'm in Idaho. I lost track. All right, so this militia thing. I would form a group of like-minded people, and I would not call it a militia. It is just call it a prepper group or whatever, but you should have a group of people that are like-minded that you can have support with in case the lights go out because they could hit our infrastructure. Not to turn this into a prepper podcast because we're a Christian church safety team, but because a lot of Christians prepare because the Bible tells us to. My team, I have a doctor, I have a special operations soldier. I have multiple SWAT team members, and I have people that are familiar with making food, making medicine, herbal medicine, stuff like that. So make sure you have something like that. So another good question, what minimum security should a church have? We have none at all. So the minimum should be, at a minimum, it should be a group of people that communicate regularly and train together and have a plan in case something happens. What you should have is you should have a safety team with designated people that have background checks, qualify with their firearm if they choose to carry one. Their firearm is approved by the church. They're carrying appropriate ammo, an appropriate holster, appropriate weapon. They qualify a minimum of once a year, and you have policies in place. They talk about what you're supposed to do and not do. How many people do you need? I can tell you right now, I'm at a church with probably 4,000, more than that, probably like 6,000 over the weekend. I can secure the church with just 2 people if I absolutely had to. Most churches, you just need 1 or 2 people. The church this morning in Wayne, I don't know how many people they had, but it was one guy that stopped him with the help from a church member who ran the guy over. So our small towns within the target areas, 100%. Yes. It doesn't matter where you're at. You're all at risk. Every one of you. So we got transients here. What can we church put to get poor people out? We have poor people problem. They're hiding in the back of our church. We always lock up, but cops have been camping out there lately. I'm thinking suspects. We do want to help the poor. That's part of our task of being a Christian. We want to make sure that we take care of them. And sometimes that includes them sleeping in the church. If you do that, you have to set down rules for them. And then if they break those rules, then you have to decide if you're going to call law enforcement to come arrest them for trespassing or whatever you're going to do. But you're going to have to work with law enforcement to figure out what you're going to do. But remember, we're Christians and we're tasked with helping the poor. Just my 2 cents. Mike, sorry that I can't afford to support your channel. No problem, Mike. Your support by you coming here, hitting the like button and leaving a comment goes a long way. That's all the support I need. For those of you that are in a position, if you do want to support what I'm doing, you can go to christianwarriortraining.com and do a paid membership. But Mike, I get it. Don't worry about it, brother. Just keep leaving comments and hitting the like button and sharing all the information. Sorry, I'm just going through looking for questions here. So, good question. So, eternally grateful. Seeing that we know there are sleeper cells in America, why do you think we aren't shutting them down? The Constitution, plain and simple. The Constitution prohibits a lot of the stuff that we would do to shut them down. And we should not subvert the Constitution to go after sleeper cells because that would be bad, right? The other thing is we don't know who all of them are. We know they're here. We know that some of them turn into informants and they give us more information, but it's hard to track all of them down. I'm going to go through, look here. So Paula asked, do you think a taser is a better option than a gun, or will that cause a shooter to accidentally pull the trigger? So I think taser is a good less than lethal option. I think for those of you that are in prohibited areas like California or Illinois, if you're stuck behind enemy lines, my recommendation would be to do a taser. He's already pulling the trigger anyways. So I've been tased before. I know that I couldn't pull the trigger if I wanted to, but yeah, you might tense up, but whatever, he's already shooting. So it doesn't really matter. I would tase him and then just start beating the crap out of him and leave the taser on. But a pistol is honestly the best way to go. What brand smoke grenade do you use? I use a civilian brand because I can't get good government stuff anymore, and I use IWA. So Dave says, I used to work terrorist files when I was in an intelligence unit. Thank you for bringing this information to the public. They are all crazy and willing to pull triggers and push detonators. I've been hearing the same thing from cops all day today. Yeah, man, it's been, my phone's been going off nonstop. In fact, I can see messages popping up right now, and they're all feeding me a lot of good info. Boogeyman, we're located in a very rural area, 30 to 40 minutes outside of a major college town. We do a huge 4th of July event every year. We have about an 8-mile driveway to get to our church, across a bridge, up a hill, around a corner, probably snowing when you do all that. Should we set up a checkpoint for entry to this event? No, don't. Let people come. You're going to have to work harder. And this is what I get. It's our natural reaction to have a little bit of fear here. And I want you to remember what I've told you is don't turn your church into a bunker. No checkpoints, no bag checks, no guys staying out front with rifles. You can take care of whatever. Like the guy this morning, more than likely took care of that with a pistol, and then one church team member with a car. That is fine. That is sufficient. Could you get shot? Yeah, man, you're probably going to get shot. But only if you get shot, just remember you got a 95% chance of survival. Only 5% of the people shot actually die. So you're good to go. The odds are on your side already, right? And you got a war wound that you can brag about, and chicks dig scars, right? But putting up a checkpoint for a long area like that, don't worry about it. What I would do is just put somebody up front. They can start looking at people as they come in. And when you see a suspicious car come in, then you go, hey, man, I got a suspicious car coming in. Everybody take a look at it and watch the people as they come out. We had a suspicious person that we had to deal with today at our church. And when they said they were looking at him, we followed him out all the way out. He didn't know he was being followed. So it's all good. But I want you to remember one thing from this broadcast. Don't turn your church into a bunker. Keep it open so people can come to Christ and they can worship. Do not panic. Here's the thing. If you start panicking and start freaking out, people are going to see that and they're going to mimic that. So I'm not freaking out. I'm telling you the truth. There are a bunch of people saying that they're going to do some stuff. They're either going to do it or they're going to not. I'm ready either way, and you should be too, but you shouldn't freak out about it. When I walk into church today, my head was clear and I was in worship, having a great time, knowing that people were watching my back so I can worship. If something was going to happen, certainly I'll respond. Don't freak out about anything, okay? Thoughts on USCCA. I'm actually going to USCCA on Wednesday. I'm flying to USCCA to go meet with their executives. I cannot recommend USCCA. I do recommend Right to Bear. Why am I going to USCCA? Because they are really cool in acknowledging that they made some mistakes and they want to know what they can do better. And so I'm meeting with their executives and we're going to talk about it. And I appreciate the opportunity and I'm hoping they make changes. I've had conversations with a lot of self-defense insurance companies. There are 11 major ones right now. And I've had conversations with all of them, and some of them have made changes for church security teams. Right now, I would not recommend them. I do recommend Right to Bear. I think they are who you should go to. If you go there, tell them that I sent you. In fact, if you go to, if you use the code Warrior2, in fact, let me put in a link for you guys. If you go to this link for $180, you'll get 50 state coverage for free. It's only $180. You get like a 20% discount or something like that. It's huge. Just my 2 cents. Put it in there for you guys. It's up to you if you want to use it or not. Cyber intelligence. How can we use it for our church safety? If so, how to get a hold of the info? I've already seen it over on Substack. Guys that are watching on all the other platforms, I go to you last. I put most of my information out on Substack. Go to christianwarriortraining.com. That's my Substack. Go to there, christianwarriortraining.com. Do this link, sign up for the newsletter. I put everything out over there. I have mentioned this group before, but the FBISAO, they have great cyber intelligence information put out all the time there and there specifically for churches. Just do a Google search, FB-ISAO, and let them know Keith Graves from Christian Warrior sent you. They are really cool. But Lewis, all your cyber intelligence over there, they put out a ton, and you'll keep up on that. All right. So Chin Y says, brother, which is most likely, direct action, drone attack, or both? I think most likely it's going to be a direct attack, meaning like it's going to go connect me. People are going to jump out of a car, hit the church, multiple people. Lone wolf attacker, it's just going to be one. If it's actual sleeper cell, you're looking at like 3 to 10. And they're going to start their attack and you're going to have to go through it and it'll be crazy and you'll have a story for the rest of your life. Go save people, right? I would not discount drones. If for those of you on all the other platforms, christianwarriortraining.com, I put out an article about how they will use drones to attack your church. I suggest you go read it. I would, for guys that are on the perimeter on church safety teams, I would continuously look up. And if you see a drone, just bring everybody inside. It can only drop small munitions. And so if you bring people inside, you'll be okay. Do not try and shoot it out of the sky. It's not going to work. Just try and hide from it and call 911. But Chen, I'm telling you right now, I think direct action with a couple of drone attacks sprinkled in there. But I think direct action is going to be your biggest one. How can I find local training to get a new team tactical skills. All right, Travis. I would, man, go to a good gun shop and ask who's putting on good tactical training, and then go find those people. Me personally, I'm willing to fly to good training. I know teams around here. I'm trying to remember the name of the place now, but it's a bunch of JSOC teams like Delta Force, DevGru, Cell Team 6. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but they go to a place down here by Twin Falls that's pretty good. Mark, I love what you do. How much is a membership? I'm on a fixed income. You're on a fixed income. Worry about yourself. Donate whatever you have to your church. I'm good. But for the rest of you that want to support and you have extra cash, a subscription to the newsletter, Christian Warrior Training, that will help sustain what I'm doing here. But for those of you on a fixed income, don't worry about it. We're good. God will find a way to keep this running. We have VBS this week, Vacation Bible School, expecting close to 200 kids and volunteers. We'll have 2 security. Should that be sufficient? Yeah, that's good. Make sure you guys restrict access, like where people can come in and out of the VBS, the Vacation Bible School. I would keep, like, if there's just 2 of you, one door open, put one of you there and the other roves and just walks around, and then switch. One person takes a rest and watches the door. The other person walks around. You don't have to necessarily be with the kids. Remember, the attack is going to be initiated in the parking lot. And if you have anything, just to be clear, man, if you have any church event, anything, remember 10 years ago this last week, a man walked in to a Bible study and killed 10 people. And it was a racist attack. You guys need to make sure that you are covered right now. You have security at every event if you can do it. VBS obviously would be the most important. 2 of you. 1 entrance, 1 exit. That's it. 1 person stationed there, the other in the parking lot looking around, and you should be good to go. All right. And thank you for watching over the children at VBS. I know you're not getting paid for it. It's just our service to the body of Christ. And I appreciate what you're doing. And I appreciate it. Thank you. Super important. Do you know what kind of tactical car the security guy used? Gallows humor. Keep up the good work. That's why I drive a Ram 2500 with a Cummins engine. You never know. Paul says, if I do get shot and killed, then I know I'll wake up in the arms of Jesus. Exactly, man. I'm not worried. If I die, I die. Like, I know where I'm going, and I'm totally okay with it. Do you recommend US Law Shield? They're all right. They're all right. We have a video from the USCCA meeting. No, I don't want to video them when I talk to them. I don't want to put them on the spot, but I'll talk about it to you guys later. Yeah, attorneys on retainer. I've talked to them. They're all right. They're all right, but there's one that I recommend. Read between the lines. I don't badmouth lawyers, because last time I did a live stream, I said something about AOR, and they called me to let me know that what they thought of that. Fabio, recommendations for the police academy. We need good people to be cops. Go to it. I know recommending a police academy. They're every state's different. Every location is different. But if you have a heart to serve and a heart to defend your fellow man, sorry, I'm looking at some nasty comments down in YouTube, man. Some of you people need Jesus. All right. I think we pretty much have. God, sorry, I'm looking at YouTube. It's horrible to look at. I hate YouTube. Hey, if you're one of the good people, head over to ChristianWarriorTraining.com and follow us over on Substack. You'll be much happier over there. All right. When we leave here, I want you to pray for the safety of our churches. Pray for the safety of our country. In the next couple of weeks, it'll be pretty perilous. It'll be interesting to see what happens. So I want you to pray for our country, pray for our churches. I want you to pray for the safety team member that was shot today. He put himself in the line of fire to save 150 people in that church. And he did it. God was with him, guided him, and God saved him. Let's say a prayer for him. And then I want you to remember when you leave here, remember your